I'm not flawless, quite the contrary. A violent storm of imperfection. The map you gave me led me wrong. Bad advice and misdirection. I'm Tiffany. Today we will revisit my past, revel in the present, and I will express my hopes for the future. Shakespeare said to thine own self be true. Only I can convey my message with sincerity, just as only you can account from your own narrative. We have each emerged from our own individual circumstances, but by hearing stories that are dissimilar from our own, we are better able to relate to one another respectively. I experienced a troubled childhood, made life-altering choices at a very young age. It was because of those choices and a lot of grace that led me here to this moment, and the future is bright for me and my family. Let's begin with a quick trip down memory lane. I was born in June of 1990 in Putnam County, Florida, to my mom, Kelly, and my dad, Horace. I was the second born of 5 girls. I grew up in Georgetown, Florida, in the middle of nowhere. A small home on 5 acres, surrounded by pine forest and dirt roads. It wasn't long after I began school that I began to notice that my home life was different than that of my friends. We didn't own a vehicle or a phone, and went many summers without air conditioning. We were accustomed to going without food, and it was normal for my dad to hunt small game in the woods around our house and bring it to feed us. Things like rattlesnake, squirrel, raccoon, and turtle, just to name a few. Rattlesnake is delicious. My father was abusive and my parents divorced when I was 5 years old. As they each began living separate lives, they both started to struggle with addiction. This caused them to not be very present, and they weren't there to protect and nurture my siblings and I. Consequently, I quit going to school after the 9th grade, became pregnant at 15, and gave birth to my first son, Micah, when I was 16 years old. I had another son, Mason, at 18 years old. By age 21, I also began to experiment with different substances, and before you know it, I was also in the grips of opioid addiction. Now that you have an idea of where my life began, let's consider the factors that have led me here to Kaiser University. I found the strength to enter treatment after my 3rd son, Christian, was born in June of 2020. In the year 2021, the CDC says that over 80,000 people died from opioid-related overdoses. Therefore, I feel extremely lucky to have made it out alive. Unfortunately, my sister Destiny was not as lucky. She was 3 years older than me and died at age 29, October 2016, due to heart complications caused by intravenous drug use. This has been a driving factor in my career choice and has left me with an eagerness to help save people like my sister and myself. I finished treatment. My boyfriend and I moved to Jacksonville permanently. We had our final son, Kyson, in March of 2022. I am a happy stay-at-home mom and enjoy spending time with my family. Eleanor Roosevelt said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." So now let's discuss my aspirations for the future. My goal is to work in a substance treatment environment as an occupational therapist assistant and hopefully in the future as a counselor. In a recent article published by the Nordic Studies of Alcohol and Drugs stated that the occupational perspective of substance use is slightly different from the medical model view. OT aims to enhance the quality of life of people using substances and prevent them from relapsing. Ultimately, the OT view is that substance abuse is unique to each individual and only they can define the meaning of substances in their life and the effect it has on daily living. Once I graduate, the life of me and my family will be enhanced drastically with a starting salary of almost $60,000 a year. I will finally be able to provide them with the comforts and opportunities that they so deserve. Then I will be left with an emotionally fulfilling career that is financially rewarding and that they will remain a demand for in the future, unfortunately. Now that we've been over the traumas of my childhood, rejoiced over my triumph with addiction and the beauty of my present life, and looked ahead to my dreams for the future, I would like to thank you sincerely for your attention, for your encouragement, and for your time.